Welcome to the Nameless.
At first, they only knew my passwords. Then they knew my schedule. Then they started predicting things I hadn't done yet. It started small enough that I ignored it. A login notification from a country I'd never been to, Vietnam, then Poland, then somewhere listed only as unknown device. Nothing unusual, really. Everyone gets those sometimes. I changed my password, then I changed it again. Then I enabled two-factor authentication on everything I owned. Email, banking, cloud storage, even an old gaming account I hadn't touched in years. For a while, it stopped, or at least it looked like it did. About 3 weeks later, I got another alert. But this one was different, because it wasn't telling me someone had logged in. It was telling me I had, from a device I didn't own. The device name was just one word: local. I checked my apartment. Laptop on the desk, phone in my hand, tablet in the drawer. Nothing new, nothing missing.
Still, I logged out of everything again and reset every password. New ones this time. Long, random, generated by a password manager. There was no way anyone could guess them. And for a while, nothing happened. Until the emails started. Not spam, calendar reminders. At first, I thought they were glitches. A notification would pop up on my phone. Reminder, leave apartment at 7:35 a.m. The thing was, that was already when I left. Every morning. Same time, same train, same routine. So I assumed the phone had learned my habits. You know how apps do that, predictive stuff. But then the reminders started changing. Reminder, buy groceries on the way home, which I was already planning to do. Reminder, don't forget the blue folder, which I actually had forgotten, except the reminder showed up an hour before I realized it. I remember staring at that notification for a long time, trying to remember if I'd typed it myself, maybe half asleep, maybe days earlier. But when I opened my calendar, the reminder had been created 5 minutes earlier from the device labeled local. That was the first moment I felt something shift. Not fear, just confusion. I checked my login history. Nothing unusual. No foreign countries, no unknown devices, just my phone, my laptop, and the one labeled local, which had full access, as if it was me. I contacted support. They told me it was probably a sync issue, a ghost device. Those happen sometimes. So I removed it. Problem solved, at least for 2 days. Then it came back. No login alert, no warning, just there again, local. And that same night, another reminder appeared. Reminder, leave apartment 5 minutes early tomorrow. Which was weird because I always left at 7:35. But the notification bothered me enough that the next morning, I left at 7:30 instead. And that was when something strange happened. The train I usually took, the one at 7:42, never arrived. Signal failure. Platform shut down. Everyone was forced onto the next train, which was so packed people were standing shoulder to shoulder. Except I wasn't there, because I'd left 5 minutes earlier, taken the 7:36 train, and missed the whole thing. When I got to work, a coworker mentioned the delay. Half the office had been late. I didn't tell them why I wasn't. That night, I opened my calendar again, scrolled through the week, and noticed something new. More reminders, dozens of them, all created by local. Most were normal. Take trash out, charge phone, bring umbrella Thursday. But a few were oddly specific. Don't sit by the window tomorrow. Take a different route home. Answer the second call, not the first. I tried deleting them. Some disappeared, some didn't. And some reappeared a few hours later, created again by local. At that point, I started checking other accounts. Email, cloud storage, social media. Everything looked normal, except one thing, my location history. There were entries from places I'd never been, not far away, just slightly off. A coffee shop 2 blocks from one I actually visited, a bus stop on a street I never used, an apartment complex across town, all logged late at night, usually between 2 and 3 a.m., which made no sense because at that time I was asleep. At least I thought I was. I checked my phone's screen time log. There was activity, short bursts, 2 minutes here, 5 minutes there, apps opening, maps, calendar, notes, all from the middle of the night. I live alone, so there wasn't anyone else who could have used it, unless I had and just didn't remember. That thought stuck with me longer than I liked, because the next night I woke up at 2:17 a.m. for no reason. My room was dark, completely silent, except for the faint glow of my phone on the desk. The screen was on, calendar open, and a reminder being typed. I watched the words appear, letter by letter, but my phone was across the room, and no one was touching it. The reminder finished typing. Reminder, stay home tomorrow. Then the screen went black. I didn't sleep for the rest of the night. The next morning I checked the calendar. The reminder was there, created at 2:18 a.m. by local. I stayed home, not because I believed it, but because I couldn't shake the feeling that ignoring it would be a mistake. Around noon I got a message from work. Small electrical fire in the building, nothing serious, but the office had been evacuated for hours. I stared at that message, then at the reminder, then at the device list. Local. Still there. That was when curiosity turned into something else, because whoever or whatever was behind that account wasn't just accessing my life, it seemed to be ahead of it. Over the next week, the reminders became more frequent, more precise. Bring ID tomorrow. Call your mother tonight. Don't take the elevator. Every time I followed them, something strange lined up. An elevator stuck between floors, a surprise ID check at the office, a phone call from my mom minutes after I'd already dialed. It felt less like advice and more like instructions. Eventually, I stopped deleting them. I just waited to see what the next one would say. And then one appeared that I couldn't ignore. Reminder, visit Pine Ridge Apartments tonight. I'd never heard of Pine Ridge Apartments. I checked maps. Nothing nearby with that name. But my location history showed something interesting. Those late-night entries I'd noticed earlier, several of them were in a neighborhood on the edge of town. And right in the middle of that area, there was a blank spot on the map. No label, no building name, just a cluster of gray shapes where apartments should have been, but no address. Still, the GPS coordinates in my history led right there. I told myself I was just going to drive by, just to see. The place existed, sort of. A row of apartment buildings, 3 floors each, dim lights in a few windows, parking lot half empty. What struck me immediately was the silence. No traffic, no voices, just wind. I parked for a minute, checked the sign near the entrance. It was blank. Not faded, not damaged, just blank, like a sign that had never been printed. My phone buzzed. New reminder. Go inside. I hesitated. Then I did something I still don't fully understand. I listened. The front door wasn't locked. Inside was a narrow hallway, fluorescent lights humming quietly. Every door closed, every unit number missing, just blank metal plates where numbers should have been. My phone buzzed again. 2nd floor. The stairs creaked under my weight, but the building was otherwise silent. No TVs, no footsteps, no voices through the walls, just that faint electrical hum. Another buzz. 3rd door on the left. I stood in front of it. There was no number, just a blank plate. I knocked. No answer. My phone buzzed again. Wait. So I waited. 30 seconds, maybe a minute. Then I heard something. Not footsteps, not movement, just the faint sound of a phone vibrating on the other side of the door. Then the door slowly opened, just a few inches, enough for me to see inside. The apartment was empty. No furniture, no lights except the hallway glow behind me. But on the floor, in the middle of the room, was a phone. Its screen lit up as I stepped closer. Calendar open. Same interface as mine. Same reminders. Same device list. And at the top, the active device. Local. I picked it up. The screen changed immediately. A new reminder appeared. Leave now. I didn't argue with that one. I left the building, got in my car, drove home. And the whole time, I kept thinking one thing. That phone inside the apartment had my entire schedule, my reminders, my location history, everything, as if it had been syncing with me. But when I checked my account later that night, there was no second device. Just my phone, my laptop, and nothing labeled local. I went back to the apartment complex the next day, except there was no Pine Ridge Apartments. Not on the map, not in the neighborhood. Just an empty lot, chain link fence, construction permit sign, dated 6 months earlier. I asked a nearby shop owner if there had ever been apartments there. He shook his head. Just the lot, he said. Always been empty. I checked property records online. Nothing. No Pine Ridge, no building permits before the current construction, no addresses ever registered there. Even my location history had changed. All those late-night entries? Gone, like they'd never existed. The only thing that remained was my calendar. Because even now, every few days, a reminder appears, created by a device that isn't listed anymore. And they're always about small things, things I haven't done yet, but somehow will. I still follow most of them, not because I trust them, but because every time I ignore one, something feels slightly wrong, slightly off. Like I missed a step in a routine I don't remember learning. And sometimes I wonder about that phone in the empty apartment, whether it was syncing with me, or if maybe it was the original, and my phone, the one I've been carrying all this time, is the copy.